When Women Speak and New Jersey Poetry Events presents
When People Speak, Poetry and Conversation with pop-up poetry guests.
Well,
Yes.
hey, there you are again, my fabulous co-host, Mr. James Ellerby, you author, you poet, you. And we're live on Facebook with When People Speak. How are you this evening?
Doing good, doing good. Can't wait for this show. Have a dynamic roster, powerhouse of poets, as well as a musical artist as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely gonna sit back and enjoy the show. But like as always, we like to start off ourselves. My co-host Amira, and as well as myself, James, to set it off and get the atmosphere set. So, you got something for us, Amira?
Yeah, you know what? I was working on this new piece, I'm trying to change the genre a little bit, but I keep coming back to the same type of thoughts. I guess as you write poetry, you're moved by whatever is in the spirit of the moment. So this poem is no different. So this is a new piece. It's called Ethnicity and Colorism. Ethnicity and colorism. Color me a rainbow, why don't you? Except the primary colors would be browns, pure yellows, and melanin blacks like me. Beautiful would be rainbows of Yoruban tongues, me fufu, Aunt Umi. Even God's work would look like me. Loves would be endless hours of squatting on grandma's knee, getting kinky knots, cornrows, and taming kitchen beads. Yes, Lord, colorist and ethnicity had me bonded on one knee with afro pics, with signs of fists, side corners of soul food and chips, collard greens, dim lights, dashikis, jazz singers, and girls who wish their name was Sade, days before mama called them Keisha, and double syllable nay, nay. Boys with turned up lips, backward flips on dirty, empty lot mattresses, brown paper bags, be my friend, but not my sister. Not my sister, see, she be black, but not like me. I'm cocoa cream, she is the cocoa bean. Wiry ends of soft curled up hair, mine be smooth, yet my skin be fair. I be black like she, wary, weary, tired and angry too. We smile through new awakenings, past walks on bridges, past we shall overcome, past red flags with black X's, dipped with KKKs as we carry our own into the reds, the blacks, the greens, days when color was not on TV. Visions came, gone of you and me. History erased and spilled out white paste. Living and leaving whole minds blurred, confused, disconnected without a place. Yes, Lord, colorist and ethnicity. When I place my brown on the edges of mirrors, the reflection be her. The reflection be her, the reflection be rainbows of melanin, edges of brown, rounding white masks which hold frowns. My mask be dipped and tinted, hiding not my pride. We wear the mask through grin and guile, long past blood of freedom rides. Evaluate me, judge me, try me, and hold me down. I pass the test, I pass the test. I'm lighter than the bag. I pass the test. Dear Rachel, you pass too. Dear Lupita, you do too. Dear every ancestor of mine with one drop of pain, please know this illusion has run its course. Bloods run freely now. These crops be crossed. We are phonotypically pure. Blackness runs inside, color skies, feeds rainbows, absorbs pain, heat, rain, and strengths. It holds me strong. I'm racially pure. Ethnicity and colorism. Color me a rainbow, why don't you? Why don't you? Except the primary colors would be browns, pure yellows, and melanin blacks like me. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I love the imagery in that piece. The way you use the different colors to demonstrate the colors of us, and I love that. Definitely a powerhouse, another powerhouse piece from you, but it's definitely expected for such a great writer as yourself. But I got a little
You
something.
do?
Yeah, I got a little something. I performed this before, but I haven't performed it often. But I think this is definitely fitting for our show. I get asked all the time, like, why do I write? What inspires me to write? So this is my answer to that question. So it's called "I Want to Die in Words." I want to die. I want to die in words. I want to die in words so I may rise on the third day after my betrayal of plagiarism, to be rewritten after a crown of thorns. Please don't mourn me after my death. This old vessel of nouns, adjectives, and verbs no longer serve their purpose. I want to capture a mind in the rapture of my hereafter. Like the moment the words are used, they are the beginning of that never ending possibility. I want the silly to be simply complex in context, a convex of conceptualism, a multitude of isms beyond realism. I want to die in the surrealism. Don't be fooled in thinking this poem is just a string of words with meaningless meanings. For I died in words before. I've been to that other side. And it was at that other side that I felt more alive than I ever been. I want to be the fisher of pens. I want to die in words. Let the dead bury the dead. Let every lead tip turn to ink tip. So every drip on paper be everlasting like the universe itself. Let my words be a wealth of literacy. No need for my old words to follow me in death, for this will not be the end of the me to be. I want to die in words till my thoughts drain empty. I want to die in words so I may live again, so they may have purpose, propelled 7 levels above worthless. Let my words be what it takes to circumvent their circumstance, to dance with God and say, sorry, not my song to the devil. Leave him there, right there, center floor. He already wore his defeat when I first learned to write and speak. Now I speak these words that were written at the top of Mount Sinai, to later die on a tree, dripped in blood, so that my new words can set us free. The only thing that I have control of are these words, and even that is an illusion. For words guided by the all-knowing know there is nothing new under the sun, and the light will always illuminate what I write. But here's the revelation. The only solution to this literary degradation, the only emancipation unworthy of my earthly manacles, is for me to die so that I may live in words. Thank you.
As always, that was another fabulous piece. James, what was your inspiration? Give me a little bit of background on that piece that you just performed. What was the inspiration for you writing that? Because that's usually scientific with your poetry. That was a little bit earthy here.
Well, I truly believe that, what I write is a gift from our creator, a gift from God. And so that's why there's, different spiritual and biblical references throughout the poem. Because when I go to write anything, I want it to be impactful. I want it to reach into the depths of the soul of a person. So that's why, I wrote it in that fashion and with those different analogies and so forth. So
Yeah, I'm thinking that that was powerful for me in listening to your poem, because you have such a range in terms of what you speak about and the message that you give out to the people on a regular. Like we were together Saturday doing poetry at a different venue, and it was a whole nother kind of feeling. So I just want to say publicly, I'm happy to be in your company. I'm happy to be your co-host. And ladies and gentlemen, this is When People Speak. What we got next, James?
Yeah. We're keeping this party going, as they say. And next up is a phenomenal poet by the name of Jennifer Love. And I want to say a few things about her, just so you know who she is, and about her as an artist as well. But Jennifer Love Bonaparte is a poet, actress, author, producer, songwriter. Born and raised in Queens, New York, Jennifer discovered her love for writing around the age of 12 by writing songs and poetry. Jennifer has written 2 poetry books, My Love, My Words, and Music of a Bleeding Heart.
Now. So yes, I'm gonna start with Foolish. That's like my signature piece. Everyone tends to love that piece. It's one of my favorites as well. I'm sure there's some people that might not have heard it, so here goes. This is Foolish. 625-384-444. Damn. Why can't I hit the 2? All I need to do is hit the 2 and your phone will ring. But of course, you probably won't answer. Perhaps that's why my finger freezes up. Why do I even begin to dial? See, my pride is way too strong to fall victim to you over and over again. The last time you called was well, I can't remember. But I'm sure you're thinking of me, right? You're just busy. That's why I call you instead. We've had some great moments, so I know you can't forget me. At least my heart thinks so. But my pride always creeps up at the last moment. Fucks with my head. Telling me I'm a fool and I could do better. But then I remember those butterflies when I see your beautiful smile. And I remember how you, well, let's just say, you always make me forget my name. So better? I don't know. I mean, there's no one who has even come close to what you do. So I guess I can say you got me foolish over you. Doing things I would never. Longing, waiting, desperately for your call, your touch. If loving you is wrong, then I don't need to be right. I just need you by my side. Don't you see it? When you look at me, how I love you deep down inside? There's more and more I want to give you, to tell you, to show you, but I can't hit the 2. My foolish heart aches for you immensely, but my pride always gets the best of me. And my unfinished call ends. That's Foolish. And I wanted to do one other one. This is actually from, well, both of them. Foolish is also in the second book that James mentioned, which is Music of a Bleeding Heart. So this is The Beach. This is also one of my favorite ones. It's my interpretation of Footprint. So, you never know. Someone out there, might feel full from the hearing this, especially after everything that's been going on this year. So, yeah, this is The Beach. As I walk along the beach, still feeling incomplete, my days have gone past me, leaving me behind with memories of regrets and pain I can't forget. But now, this is my day. Although I never fulfilled those dreams, my number has come up. The ship is on the way and I must get aboard. The air has never felt lighter than today, and the sand feels cooler each step that I take. As the seagull passed me by, he turned and smiled at me. As he led me down the path of all the faces, those who ever loved me slowly appeared in the sky. Their tears started to roll down their cheeks, falling into my skin, softening my soul, allowing the sun to seep in. It melted away my clothes. It melted away my sins and all the burdens I had within. I was now ready to end in the same essence I began, pure and free. The ship's horn was faint as it slowly approached, preparing to dock. I joined the line of spirits while others gathered behind me by the numbers. Today is a glorious day that we will all share. Our Father opened the door and the beautiful light shined through. He took us in and hugged us one by one. When I reached the door, the seagull shed one tear and flew away. When he touched my hand, the switch of life flashed and then faded to darkness, and I took my last breath. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Jennifer, you have such a soothing
Thank
way
you.
about you. Your poems make people slow down. They make us calm. They enter our hearts. They make us think. And I'm just wondering, like, are you solely like a love poet, or what is your thing? Like, what is your favorite type of poem to write?
Well, love kind of claimed me. That's why I just attached it to the name. Because I would notice that whenever I would try to rear off from love, I somehow would go back to it. Even within the poem, I was doing a poem one time with Lost Time. Lost Time, for those who have heard it, it starts off totally different and then it just bleeds into love. And I was like, I caught myself like, oh, I went there. So then that's when I really officially was like, okay, I guess this is what it is. So the
Wow.
majority of them are based on love, but then I have some other ones, just on life and just things like that.
Well, I have to say that the title of your book is just amazing as well. Music of a Bleeding Heart. Like it makes me want to know what is inside of there, what bled from this heart, what is she talking about? So the title was actually really, really a pull. It what is the word I'm looking for when you're drawn into something? It was really a good title, and I appreciate it. Your poetry, and I appreciate you joining our show, James.
Thank you.
Yes. I wanted to mention, I don't know if everybody heard, that's what happens when you got too many things running at the same time. But, I have the dynamic duo herself filling in as always. But I wanted to mention that Jennifer Love also is one of the founders of a phenomenal platform called Words Unleash. And her co partner, Nakia, they're doing some phenomenal things in spreading the art out there, and not just poetry, but in all forms of the art. And it was because of them that I got my first feature in Baltimore. I see Jasmine Farrow, who was also a former When People Speak participant. She was also at that show as well. So, I commend them for what they're doing and just keeping the arts going. So, can you tell a little bit about like why that you and Nakia got together to form this phenomenal platform?
Yes, I'd love to. And thank you. You are such a phenomenal artist. So it was just an honor to have you bless our stage. Um, Words Unleash was basically a little baby, a seed, that wasn't even supposed to be that. It was an idea that sparked from Nakia when she used to do her talk shows online and stream, and a lot of poets would come on there and share their work from, how it is, from all different states. And I was like, we should just do something to get together. At the time, I think we called it Poetry and Stream or something. We was like, let's just get together. Whoever can come to New York and join us, we'll just drink, just do some poetry. So from that idea, we just started thinking of little things to add, and with the networking, because we also work with small business vendors. With me coming from the world of acting, I was like, it's very important. I know how important it is to network. So I was like, yo, let's throw in this and that and a third. And before we knew it, it took on a life of its own, and people were thinking us before we even had our first show. So it was just, it was something that was so beautiful that was given to us. And I mean, the people we've met on this journey and the people we've touched, it's just like, it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's, I'm speechless. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so honored to just be a part of this culture, you know what I'm saying? And just to be helping people the way I do.
And it is amazing. So, sis, take your wings, fly into the hearts of everybody that your words happen to hit. I appreciate you joining us on When People Speak, and I hope that you will be a guest again in the future. If you don't mind, kindly join the others in the VIP room. And again, thank you again for joining our show.
Yes, thank you so much.
Have a good evening. All right. And I'm going to bring one such poet to the stage. As James re-enters, this is a perfect opportunity for him to give me Polar Funk. Polar Funk, welcome to When People Speak. James, can you introduce this handsome young man that we have in our poets gallery here?
Yes. Polar Funk, I had the privilege of meeting him on another platform. It was through the American Dream podcast. He was a guest on there, and as well as I was also a guest on that platform. And it's about just what is your particular American dream. And he had such a phenomenal story, and I'll get into a little bit of it. Polar Funk was born in Woodbury, New Jersey. James Rothmiller spent 5 years in the foster care system and was incarcerated for 3 years as an adult. Now, as Polar Funk, he is ready to make an impact through writing and performing arts. Now he is ready to fight for criminal justice reform and social justice. Polar Funk is ready to be of service. And with that, I give you the one, the only, the very talented and very word impacting Polar Funk.
I'm ready. Let's leave this stage. Let's give it to him.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, thank you for the introduction. Yeah, I have a piece that I want to read. Only performed a couple times, so I'm a little nervous, but I feel like I can get it together enough to convey my message. This is called Change Gotta Come. I'm sick of the cussing and fussing and all the idle discussion and running from hell's suction. Spending all day doing nothing but stressing. Every question turns into a lesson, manifesting into a blessing. And I know it's God testing, but man, it's hard. Look how I've been scarred and barred and changed and rearranged as something mentally deranged, living off of pain, praying somehow tomorrow I'll manage to wake up sane. And when I do wake up, I have a better aim at my goal. Filling the emptiness of a hole, writing scriptures on scrolls anointed to rescue lost souls. Starting with mine first. See, it's the worst when you feel cursed on this scorched earth. Struggling to stand firm on a shaky perch that's been rigged to falter from your first day of birth. If I'm destined to suffer the sins of my father, then why even bother? How can I open the eyes of my sons and daughters if it's meant for them to swim in the same dirty waters. But still, I'll part the 7 seas to convince them it's not a disease. To die standing on your own too, where everyone else is living on their knees. It's hard to be optimistic when your cup is always halfway full. You're telling me to fix my own problems, but I can't find the resources or tools. I can't stand injustice of any kind. I won't even attempt to try it. I want my voice to be heard, but it never is until I riot. I can no longer deny it. I'm an outcast, a misfit, a broken toy on Christmas. All I'm asking for is acknowledgement of my innocence before you presume me guilty. See, this justice system, it ain't blind. They got 20/20 vision, especially when it comes to seeing young black men put in prison. Probationary supervision, parole, the bracelet, we're putting this system swiftly. There's more of us in the system now than it was slaves in 1850. Now on the street, I struggle trying to secure employment day after day. But best believe, as soon as I get locked up, I'm given a job right away. No matter how much the devil tempts me. But don't accuse me of playing the race card when the whole deck is stacked against me. As a matter of fact, I did the math while in prison. You add endless obstacles, multiply barriers, subtract me from my home. Now my family suffers long division. I refuse to understand, but sometimes I oversit in my sorrow. It's hard to look for a brighter day when you're never promised tomorrow. Now, at the same time, I'll take responsibility for my actions. I know I bring a lot of this shit on myself. Trying to find a shortcut to wealth, lack of initiative, lack of discipline. It's always been bad for my health. But in this battle for my body and soul, I'm willing to go on a war path. And hopefully, God showers my soul with mercy, because this will end in a bloodbath. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just asking, like, to give a little background on the poem. Although it was basically self-explanatory, it just had such a powerful force to it. What space were you in when you wrote that? What kind of space?
Actually, this was written over 25 plus years, different parts of it. I probably completed it like 2 years ago. But I would say in the beginning of it, you know, when I said I'm sick of the cussing and fussing and idle discussion, like I was just like starting to get my feet wet in the streets. And I guess I was like, you know, late teens, early 20s, whatever. And I was feeling the pressure already. You know, I was feeling like damn, this world got some shit with it. You know, and I experienced a lot as a child. But at this time, I'm recognizing while the things in my childhood were things that I couldn't help. You know, I was helpless. A lot of what I was dealing with at that particular time, I was bringing on myself, and I was questioning myself: is this what you really want to do? And but I knew I had a fascination, you know, with the street, with that whole culture, and that was only the beginning. But that was what was so significant about it, because I was tired then, 20 plus years ago. And just through time, going through the system and experiencing different things, I started to realize how much the system played a part.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that everybody most poets, they have to have lives, like real serious things impact them to have such a heart behind the poetry that they bring to the public, hoping and knowing at the same time that somebody out there is going to relate to this story. The interesting thing about this piece is that it was written some time ago, but it's still very relevant in today. And that's the mind-boggling part of it. And as we all know, poets are record keepers of time, of history, of events. And this definitely is a piece that it has existed and it will continue to exist unless we stand up and put a stop to some things that need to be stopped. Thank you. Thank you, Polar Funk. Thank you.
Thank you, Polar Funk.
Thank you.
We definitely need your support to keep this poetry platform going, as well as provide the dynamic shows that we constantly are providing for you. And this is how you can support. You can support us through via Cash App at $ Amira Shabazz. Support. We definitely could use the support for this platform as well as supporting the artists. And we want to do some major things in the future. So this is how you can continue to contribute. And yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that anything that you contribute, we use it for the platform. We use it to keep things going. We use it to make the show better. We are hoping to be a long-running show, giving to the public the highest quality poets in our area, near and far, and also answer some of the questions that are current and prevalent in today's society. And we can do that. We can do that with your help. So the Cash App is available. Any donation is wonderful. We'll take it and we'll be happy, and we'll keep our stride in presenting to you poetry live, virtually streamed on social media.